Okay, purpose of this video is to make sure that you have a means of turning in your work via this distance learning that we're taking on. I'd like you to work locally and then turn in your work by sharing a Google Drive. So let's get started. We're going to get started with a new folder on the desktop. I'd like you to follow along. So if you've had one of my classes before, you know it's last name, first initial, and then the course initials of the course. I'm going to add one more piece to that, and I want you to type in local so we don't get confused about what is the local folder versus your Google folder. If you go ahead and launch your browser and go into Google, make sure that you're logged in with your school account, not your personal account, so that it's the student shared drive on the Google Drive. So I'm logged in as Mr. Darian here in my drive. If I click here and go to my apps and go to my drive, I'm going to show you how to create a folder. You guys, many of you probably know how to do this already, but we're just going to hit the new button right over here and create a new folder. And I'm going to call it the same thing, but I'm not going to add the local piece, so it's going to be Gary W. Engineering Design, and hit create. Now notice in my drive I've got a new folder that should have just showed up. Here it is. Gary W. ED for Engineering Design. If I right click on that now, I can share this. And I don't want you to share it with a link. I want you to just share it with me so I have access to your work. So we're going to, under here, I'm going to share it with myself as if I was you. So just going to type in my email, and I'll leave that up there for a second. So it's garyw@region18.org, and hit send, and I will be added as a user to that folder. What I plan on doing with all those folders is I'm going to put them in a distance learning folder, and this is going to act similar to our student folders on the Tech Drive. So before we get too far along, just want to make sure that you've got a Google Drive folder set up that you've shared with me. I just want to show you how we're going to get the stuff from the local folder into your Google folder. So at the end of the day, or when you've completed a project, you're going to take this folder and drag it into your Google folder. So let's see what that looks like. But right now my full folder doesn't have anything in it, so create a simple Word document for an example. So, and I'd like you to do this, you know, just testing file sharing here. Actually, not file sharing, but it's uploading files. So I'm going to hit File and Save. I'm not going to save it to my Google Drive. I'm going to save it to my local drive on the desktop. And what's going to happen, I think, come tomorrow, Monday, the 23rd, is the internet is going to get bogged down a little bit. So I'm really encouraging people to work locally and then bring the work up to the cloud later on. So hopefully your local computer is not going to give you too much trouble. You can see I've got a Word document in there for testing purposes. I'd like you to do the same, just to make sure that you've this is your first assignment, so to speak, is just getting a folder set up that I can access your work. So I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, and you would be going to your Google Drive. You'd find that folder that has the same name that's not the local one. And the nice thing about Google is you can simply drag this local folder and put it right in that other folder and upload all your work. And you can see that that upload's complete. You can see that I now have a copy of the entire contents of that folder. That one Word document is in my Google Drive. So if I open up the local, there's my testing file sharing document. That wraps up this video. Again, that's essentially your first assignment, is just to create that folder and get going with that.